Assalamualaikum Doctor. Today my partner and I are going to present about our research study, which is the use of gadget and its effect to a child's development. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nur Hadiah Mutaris. I will start my presentation with explaining on the research background. In the 21st century, the use of gadget and the internet has been a norm among our society. With various features, gadgets have become one of the essential items in our life, including in the life of our children. In order to control the behavior of children, gadgets are used to entertain children when their parents, caretaker, or teachers are occupied with something else. Therefore, the purpose of this study is to discuss the effects of gadget usage to a children's development. Moving on to the next point, which is the problem statement. Gadgets have several features that are useful in our daily lives, such as to make phone calls, a source for entertainment, and many more. There are several arguments about usage of gadgets among children. First, experts argue that gadget usage have positive impacts to a children's development due to the educational videos that teaches children in fun ways. However, some experts also argue that usage of gadgets may have negative impacts to children. Mostly, gadgets are used by children as a source of entertainment and also education to keep them distracted from doing anything dangerous while their parents are occupied with something else. The usage of gadgets with supervision by elders may give positive impacts towards the children's development. However, problems may arise if the children is using the gadget without proper supervision from the parents. Due to their young age, children have lack of self-control in using gadgets, which may cause addiction. Addiction will cause the child to use gadgets excessively, which may cause some impacts on their health, cognitive, speech, and also social development. For example, while watching videos too close to the screen, children's eye may be affected. Furthermore, the content of the videos in the internet are quite worrisome. Hence, the usage of gadget may have negative and positive impacts towards a child's development.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Fatina Najida Jasmani, the research partner who will continue to expound on the study objective as well as the research question. As previously stated, the first research objective is to assess the impact on the gadgets on children's development, with the goal of determining whether the usage of gadgets is truly beneficial to children or undermines their ability to learn. Next, determine children's social preferences through social or virtual socializing, which demonstrates their preferences in ways to create friends. Finally, to investigate parents' efforts in limiting their children's device usage, whether they are involved in reducing excessive gadget usage or not. Follows along with a research question on how does the use of gadget impact children's development, which refers back to research objective 1. Next, on why do children prefer the use of gadgets instead of socializing with their peers, refer to objective 2. Lastly, on how do parents control their children in gadget usage, which refers to research objective 3. Moving on, these are the conceptual frameworks established by the researchers in which both interactions are interrelated, as seen in the image. For the first independent variables, which refers to the social, where this independent variable is used to assess the impact on gadget usage on the social development in youngsters, regardless of whether they are good communicators or not. This is to determine whether there is strong likelihood that the causes of youngsters lacking social skills are due to excessive use of devices. Moving forward, the state of the children's health is concerning. As a result, the second independent variable was health, which implies bad posture, pains, eye strain, carpal tunnel syndrome, and physical weariness, all of which could have detrimental impact on children's excessive usage of gadget. As a result, it is necessary to investigate the impact on the children's health of excessive usage of devices as described above. Communication skills are one of the most important aspects of a child's growth. However, excessive screen time may stunt their development. As a result, there should be a concern about whether significant contribution to the development of a child's speech is, which is why it became the third independent variable. The final independent variable in this study will be cognitive skills, which will investigate how gadgets affect children's cognitive skills, which may affect their schooling in the long run. following its dependent variables is effects on gadget dependency to its children development itself, which aims to investigate the effects of social development, health, speech development, and cognitive skills of children who use gadget under the supervision of their parents or caregivers. Alright, following on the previous section, these slides outline the research methodology for this study. As a result, the research approach in this study is a qualitative method that will rely on primary and secondary sources to answer all of the research questions. Next, this study's unit of analysis is the parents, caregivers, and teachers of children who rely on technology. The study's informant are Klang Valley parents, caregivers, and teachers in order to analyze the impacts of gadget usage among children on their development. Moving on, the saturation point approach will be used by the researchers to establish the sample size for the investigation. A total of 14 informants are chosen and interviewed via an open-ended question session about the use of gadgets among their children or youngsters under their care. To illustrate, the 14 informants include parents, caregivers, and teachers between the ages of 20 and 40 years old who have children who are exposed to gadgets. Subsequently, purposive sampling in an appropriate strategy in which we use our judgment to select respondents who can provide in-depth, detailed information on their children's use of gadgets and the variables that may or may not affect their children. As a result, in this study, we will conduct an interview with 14 individuals using open-ended questions. The respondents will be interviewed via Google Meet in an online meeting. As a result, the conference will be utilized to collect data. As a result, if respondents were not comfortable holding online meetings with Google Meet, we will give a form for them to fill out in response to the survey. There are two types of data collecting in this research, which is primary and secondary sources. The primary sources data collection process begins with the preparation of interview questions, where the questions are designed to elicit a reliable information from the informant on their thoughts, experience, and beliefs about the effects on gadget dependency on their children's development. Aside from that, data gathered from secondary sources is primarily drawn from previous research, journals, newspaper, magazines, official websites, or any other reliable source that discuss child development. Based on genuine investigations, the data acquired from secondary sources assist researchers in obtaining dynamic knowledge about the influence of gadget dependency on children's development. After interviewing the informants for our study, the researcher transformed every single word stated by the respondents into text form. The researchers then carefully review each informant's responses by looking through the text one by one. The researchers then identify similar patterns and critically assess them in order to meet the study's aim and objective. Moving on to the following section, which discuss the influence of gadget usage on children's development. Gadgets are becoming an increasingly important aspect in our lives, especially those of children. They are concerned with technology that it is up to the parents to limit their usage of technology in everyday life. For example, the impact of device usage can be both positive and bad. According to the informant's observation, children tend to throw temper tantrums when their parents forbid them from using the gadget. Some of the informants believe that their children have a tendency to throw tantrums, while others indicated that their youngsters sleep outside of the house until they receive the gadget back. As a result, the children tend to physically abuse their parents by hurling objects at them as a form of retaliation. Next, it is evident that excessive usage of technology can have a negative impact on their health. It may increase their motor abilities, communication skills, and cognitive skills. Nevertheless, excessive use of devices may have negative health consequences for youngsters. Some informants say that their children have issues with their vision as well as their back. In contrast, according to the findings of the informant on the impact of gadgets on children's development, it does produce outstanding cognitive skills. The majority of informants feel that watching YouTube educational material videos improves their children's capacity to study. The ability for children to master both our mother tongue and English would gain from the usage of technology itself. It stems from the fact that the children would watch a video on any YouTube channel, including Ping Fong and Cocomelon. To elaborate, the majority of the informants indicated that the educational video content is increasing their children's ability to learn English.
The second finding is to achieve the second research objective, which is to ascertain children's preferences in socializing. Virtual socializing is defined as interacting with other people using the help of the internet without face-to-face contact. With the use of internet and gadget, socializing had been digitalized into virtual forms. According to our finding, 5 informants agrees that their children prefers virtual socializing than physical socializing. The finding shows that most of the children who prefers virtual socializing are children at a growing age between the age of 7 to 10 years old, which according to experts are the age where kids develop their personality and also behavior. Therefore, the researchers concluded that kids at a growing age prefers playing with their gadgets than interacting with people in the real life. This is supported by informant 6, who explained that his child made many friends through people she met online, even from other countries. However, being too immersed in virtual world made some children forget about the real world socializing. This statement is supported by informant 12, which in her statement stated that her sister will always be on her phone during lunch and dinner, with family watching movies or videos, even with the presence of all her family members. Therefore, gadgets may affect children's social skills as they are too immersed with their virtual life. Next, according to the findings, most of the informants also agrees that their children prefers physical socializing through playing with friends. It can be concluded that children at an early childhood phase prefers physical social interaction more than virtual interaction. According to experts, this might be due to the fact that children at that age are very energetic and enthusiastic. Majority of the informants explain that their children have good social skills as they conduct themselves well around others. Informant 11 stated that her daughter speaks very well even with elders. Through interacting with people, children learn about emotions, expressions, language that helps them in their social development. Thus, through physical socialization, children tend to have better health and mental development. The next finding is to achieve the third research objective, which is to study parents' initiative in controlling children's use of gadgets. Firstly, based on the findings, 13 out of 14 informants uses the time limitation approach in monitoring their children's gadget usage. Whether this approach gives advantage or disadvantage towards children depends on the parents' rigidness. Informants who are strict with their decision of restricting time on gadget usage makes their children shows good behavior and are more disciplined. In contrast, informants who are not firm with their decision cause their children to have bad tempers and throws more tantrums. Therefore, informants who are strict with the time limitation receive good results, but the informants who don't receive bad results on putting limitation on time of their children's gadget usage. Secondly, the finding shows that 7 out of 14 informants encourages their children to do outdoor activities. Based on the statement given by the informants, the researchers can conclude that this approach is a healthy approach of reducing the use of gadgets among children. Through outdoor activities such as joining badminton club and martial art class, children's self-esteem and health are more strengthened. This is because outdoor activities promotes healthy sleeping pattern as most energy are drained out during physical activities. Thirdly, the finding shows 8 of 14 informants agrees that doing activities together with their children improves gadget dependency among their children. In order to reduce gadget usage among children, informants do several activities with their children as a family by doing house chores, puppet storytelling, and also watching movies together. Based on the informant statement, the researchers can conclude that doing activities together is good for children's overall development, as informants can supervise their children's attitude and understand their behavior. Hence, the informant's willingness to spend time with their children despite their tiredness shows that a great success, as their children have positive changes. In short, the impact of gadget usage can be beneficial or damaging towards children's development. The children's preferences for social interaction, whether in virtual or physical form, are based on their age factor. Last but not least, informants' initiative to monitor their children's use of gadgets influence the impact of gadget usage towards their children's overall development. The next point is the implication that are derived from the study. The first implication is that the gadget may help parents to have more time for themselves. As adults, parents tend to have more responsibilities that need to be finished in a particular time. Therefore, gadgets help parents to keep their children entertained and busy from doing something that may endanger them. Secondly, gadget helps the children in improving their knowledge. Internet provides several educational videos such as ABC, the correct pronunciation, numbers, animals, and many more. Hence, through these educational videos, it helps the children's cognitive and speech development. In spite of the positive implication, gadgets towards children, excessive usage of gadget may lead to gadget addiction or gadget dependency. As children spend most of their time with the gadget, they tend to create emotional bond with the gadget. Hence, they would likely to throw tantrum when not given gadgets. Last but not least, lack of supervision when playing gadgets from parents may cause danger towards their children. Children may be exposed to irresponsible individuals such as sex predators, pedophile, cyberbully, or people who promote suicide. Hence, parents should supervise their children's activities online. That is all from me. Thank you, Doctor. I'm going to pass the presentation to my partner.
Okay, moving on. Despite all the data given in this study, there are still limitations, and some of the answers are ambiguous. This is because some of them did not want to be revealed as poor parenting because it would be bad for them, which is why the informant's response is ambiguous. Future researchers should do informant interviews with youngsters. The future researcher will be able to locate precise data or solutions to the research query. Aside from that, this study lacks of information for future researchers to focus on the hostility or conduct of youngsters when gadgets are disallowed, which is related to research objective number 2. This is due to the children's hostility when the gadgets are not in their hands. It is proposed that the future researcher conduct a session with the parents in order to acquire the exact data regarding the attitude. Furthermore, there is no proof that device use is harmful to youngsters. This is because the informants for the researchers are primarily parents or caregivers of youngsters with normal or manageable personalities. According to the findings, researchers were only able to detect the positive aspects of the gadget usage. As a result, future researchers should focus on the negative aspects of gadget usage among children by interviewing a variety of informants such as victims of online predators and survivors of cyberbullying. Future researchers can compare if using gadgets has more advantages than problems and vice versa. To sum up everything, it is recommended that parents foster their children's potential in order to improve their abilities and knowledge. According to the research, most parents note that their children's cognitive development improves after using electronics. Some learn to turn doodles into videos, which are fantastic abilities for adolescent youngsters to have. Video editing talents are one of the skills that may be used to create revenue in today's digitalized environment. It is apparent that the child has the potential to become a highly skilled artist in the future because she mastered a complex skill at such a young age. As a result, parents should examine the negative repercussions of excessive gadget use. Based on our opinion, nothing can prevent children from using the device. But limitations are what matter. That is all from us. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.